Hello, this is Austin here from Two Messengers Ministries, and I am making another video to show you something. I promise you I am only insane a little bit. If you're just feeling less joyful than usual, you're not really feeling it today, here's a real quick pro tip. This is actually aside from the video, this is a side note. That was me today, by the way. Today I went through college and work and stuff like that, and I wasn't feeling as joyful and up to the usual thing I'm feeling, which, by the way, is because I spend time in the morning with God and pray and give Him my day. That's what makes me feel happier and stuff. But I just wasn't feeling it today. Pro tip. Again, what I did to make me feel joyful enough to film 6 videos in one night, which is what I'm doing right now currently, I'm on my 3rd video, is I dived into a book. I started reading a little bit. I didn't really start reading it. I continued reading another section of a book called Crazy Love by Francis Chan. It's a really good book. You should check it out. Anyways, I read another section of that, and then I went on a bike ride all the way around the town I'm in. Actually, I did more than go around it, because I went around and then I went way out and then turned around and came back, and then I continued my path around. Anyways, cardio exercise outside. Spend time with God, pray to Him, dive into His Word or into a book like that, and then go outside and do some cardio exercise in the fresh air. If the sun's out, that makes it even better. That will almost for sure turn your day around. So, now to the actual point of this video. And you just saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of the video. I don't know what the title is going to be yet. Right now I'm filming, I edit it later, but anyways, it's probably something along the lines of set an example or something like that. Setting an example, how, what, where, why, how, Well, let's look at some verses real quick. Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. 1 Peter 2:21. For this you have been called, because Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example so that you might follow in His steps. Those first 2 verses were in ESV. This last verse I'm going to do in NIV, which is what I'm used to, because I don't like the wording that ESV uses. But anyways, the last one is 1 Timothy 4:12, which is, let no one look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, and in purity. But anyways, set an example nonetheless. So, do you all know, if you don't know, now you know, the best way, the number one way to witness to people is not to get in front of a video camera or on a stage and speak to them, but it is to live by example. That is the number one way to witness to people. Everybody knows that. That's a widely known thing among Christians and Christians. But something that almost no one thinks about that has to do with that is this. People need to know what it is you're living out. So we know that the number one way to witness to people is to live by example, is set an example with the way you live. But they also need to know what is causing you to live the way you're living. Because there are people out there that are not Christians, don't believe, and they're good people. They live great lives following the rules and stuff. If you don't let people know, and I'm not saying, not bashing people who are good people and stuff like that. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is that you're just going to look like them and not look like a Christian. You can look like them and not really look like a Christian and doing that stuff. They need to know what's causing you to live that way and set an example. What are you setting an example of? And the way I think about it is this, and this is from my own example and my own strategy or whatever. Talking about myself again. Seems like I do that in every video, but the only experience I have is my own experience. So, that's what I have to share. So when I meet someone new, or first off, I cannot stand being the same as everyone else. That's just a fun fact about me, I guess. I don't know why I keep doing that. But I love being different from other people. And not like crazy different, like, crazy or really different, like in a bad way or whatever. I mean, like, I don't like following the crowd and doing the same thing. God changed me and He made me this way. He created me this way. I do not want to be the same as everyone else. I want to be different. They need to know what's making you different. So listen, when I meet people, when I meet a new person, there's always something in the back of my head or in the front of my head or whatever that wants me to let them know what I'm about. That's why I wear this on the outside of my shirt a lot, which a lot of people do that, but I also will wear shirts, not like this one. This one's plain. I will wear like shirts with like a message of some sort on it, like I'm not ashamed, or 116, or move mountains, stuff like that. You've seen me wear it in videos I filmed. I do that in the hopes that people will see it. Maybe they will confront me and ask me about it. But the main thing I want people to know, I want people to know when they meet me what I'm about. That I'm about God. I live for Him. I am a Christian, and I'm real about that. I want them to know exactly what I'm about, and I want them to know that when they think of me, when they think about me, they think God. They think that dude's a Christian. Okay, awesome. He's a Christian. He believes in God. He loves God. I want them to think about that. And I have a reputation. I've always had a reputation in schools I've been to, at least in my high school and in my college. Before that, I wasn't really real with God. But I've built a reputation. Everyone in there knows me as sort of like, Christian. I believe in God. I built that up on purpose. Part of it's not on purpose, kind of not on purpose. But anyways, fast forward to my actual point I'm trying to make. The whole point of that is this. So when people look at me, they think God already. But when they think of me, they think Christian. They think He loves God. They think He loves Jesus. So whenever I'm doing things that, like, I'm so joyful all the time, and I'm doing other stuff like that, I want them to see that and think, wow, he's so joyful. Like, why is he so happy right now? Why is he so joyful? Why is he so pumped about this? Why is he being so polite? Why is he being so nice? I want them to have already made that mental connection, seeing me, thinking Christian, thinking God, and then see that next thing that I'm doing, being joyful and polite and whatever I'm doing, so they make that connection. They make that connection with that and my belief in God. They think, maybe he's so joyful because he's a Christian. I want them to make that connection. So when I'm living it out, and I'm living by example, and I'm witnessing in that way, they know what I'm about, and they make that connection. That's what people need to know a little bit more about living by example. They need to know that you need to know to let others know what you know. No. They need to know what you're living out. They need to know what you're living, what you're giving example from. And there's so many ways you can do that. I'm not saying you need to go and like, hey, everybody, I'm a Christian. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's other ways to do it, okay? When someone asks you about how you're living or whatever, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed to tell them why. To tell them, oh, no, I'm a Christian. I love God. He's who I'm with right now. Like, that's how that's going. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed to let people know. Maybe it is wearing shirts that proclaim what you're about. Maybe it's wearing not necessarily a cross, but like a Christian fish on the outside of this. Maybe it is getting in front of people and saying that. Maybe it is literally telling people what you're about. Whatever that way is, people need to know what it is you're about. So when they see what you're living out and that witness that you're giving, they make that connection. That is what makes living by example the most powerful way to witness to people. That connection. Because through that connection, we can change the world.